Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday, and happy more web development day today. Something like that. Hope you all survived the internet yesterday. It was a interesting one. Although I wasn't necessarily avoiding anything, but I didn't really see very many prank videos or articles or anything else. So I'm a little bit saddened by that. It feels like it was a little bit lower this year. I think I saw two total, and they were okay. Ironically, I saw one this morning from leftover from yesterday. But okay, today we are continuing to work on the LMS, which is our Rusty and yew web application, which holds our courses. We have one course for sale right now, which is that SQLX Rust, but we're going to be releasing the Introduction to Docker course eventually, or soon, hopefully. And we have a bunch of tasks. We have 7 tests already, and then one that we're working on right now, which is our mobile UI being pretty terrible. And we're working on the hardest one of it today. So we're going to see if we can finish this off today, and then we can hopefully get back to our fast pace with everything else during the next streams. Okay, so that being all said and out of the way, course access articles page. So if we let's say preview this article, this one has a video. And we go into a relatively small phone. So let's do the iPhone 12, 13 mini. And this is what it looks like, which is not bad. Not bad? Not good. Not good. Not great. Now, the other pages we made look good. So now we just have to figure out what do we want to do with this side nav bar? Because I figure that if we remove everything else, then this just works. And it actually looks perfectly fine. So I think that the side nav bar is the only problem. Now, there's a couple different options that we have. One is we could do the same thing we do with this side nav here, is have a button here that just has like the nav, and then that just sort of appears up and down. When I click on it, this doesn't go away, which we might want to do something about that. Our other choice is to have it be hidden in like full screen, but then hidden. And then a button to show it, and then a button to hide it again. I guess those are all different options for us. I guess like right now, let me see what happens if I try to make this full screen on small. So you are okay. So we have a row, we have a call 3, and if I try to do something like call XS3, that does make it more readable. It makes it full screen. And that goes down to here. Okay, that's fine. So maybe that'll be the first thing that we do, is we just set that up. And I think, let's see, this is in call, but in a column. Okay, we have our widths. Yeah, so let's just make these, I kind of want to make all these XS. Except that last one. Why not add call 3, call XS3? Ooh, we could do that. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Also, hello, RO Cloud. How are you doing today? I was almost thinking, though, that if I just add an XS to all of these, though, because if I remember correctly, on extra small, it becomes full size. On everything else, it acts exactly as if I don't have that XS at all, which would be the same as having call 3 space call XS3. If I remember correctly, I think that's how it works. So if I do that, come back to here. Wait, am I using... I'm not using local. That should make it use local. There we go. Okay, so that makes that full size like this. Now that does take a lot of space up, which is, that's the problem, right? So now I want, oh, and also let's, nope, that's Sura, I want you. Oh, yeah, that, okay, that's not exactly what I wanted either. I thought that the XS would do that, but I guess not. So that was a bad idea. Was it XM? No. Do I want to do what you had? Call 3. Oh, it's the other one. Call 3, call 9. And here, if I have call 3, call XS3. Okay, that doesn't do anything crazy there. For you, yeah, okay, so that doesn't, it actually doesn't work at all. Call XS3 doesn't take precedence over the call 3. So, yeah. And this other one is call XS9. If I were to do something like call 9, yeah, that just tries to put this, we're back to where we started again. So that's not great. So the XS makes it work in mobile, but then it also doesn't make it work here. And then here, if I try to scrunch you up small, yeah, same problem. Doesn't actually do the thing. Ooh, call 3, call XS12. Ooh, that's a good idea. Call XS12. So then if I scrunch you up, did I do that to the right one? Oh, wait, what? Why is this div highlighting that in the middle? It feels... Okay, now it's working the way we expect it to. Okay, call 9, call XS12. Do I need to like actually set it like this? Okay, call 3, call XS12. Yeah, okay, so that doesn't change this at all. It does, that does feel strange, doesn't it? I wonder if my custom CSS that I have doesn't follow the normal Bootstrap thing, and we changed it a little bit. It's been like over a year since we created it, so I don't really remember what goes in it. Unless, of course, you need to be set this way too. No, that made no change. I mean, I could also do call dash space. Just in case. What column do I have on outer div? Good question. So let's go back to this one. Nope, nope, nope. Bigger. Okay, so here's this div. I have a row here. So we have container, we have row, and then I have the 2 columns. And so we can take a look here. Yeah, here are just these 2 columns, which makes sense. They're the left and right ones. So there's no call on the outer div. There's just row, and then the 2 columns here. And if I just replace this with call XS12, that works. And if I make this call XS like 5, ooh, okay. Call XS. What if I do call like medium or small 3? And then we switch you to a iPad. Ooh, okay. So I switch it around. I do it the opposite. So we say call small is one of those sizes. And then call can just be XS. Except what? How did I get? All right, or we cross-side attack ourselves. Okay, so if I do that, I thought I got rid of the debug here. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. Okay, so now there we go. Now that snaps into place here, and then everything else shows up below it. RO Cloud, thank you for stopping by and hanging out. And have a great rest of your day. All right, so we have this now. I want to, when it's in ultra small mode, like that, like this. I mean, this is fine when we first start doing stuff, but this is not really all that great if I want to like display this. So I probably want a button somewhere. Now, where would I want to put this button? I can put it next to where buy this course would be, like show nav. Schizophrenic web developer, hello. How are you doing today? It's not fully mobile friendly yet. We're working on the last page to make it mobile friendly for learners, and this is it. So I've got it so that way it at least you can see everything. But this is obviously going to be pretty annoying if you have to scroll through the nav every single time. So we have to figure out where I want to put this. My thought is to use something similar to what our nav uses. So in our nav bar, we have this button with the collapse in it. And this makes me wonder if I can just use this pattern here. Yeah, hide it under a hamburger menu. So let's see, if I just copy this entire thing. Or I should probably create a component that I could throw these things into. That would be much better. Okay, so if I take you, let's go into source components. What should this be called? This should probably be called hide, like hamburger menu. Hide in burger. Collapsible. I guess I could call it collapse. So I want components mod. We are absolutely going to use props. We're going to need children. I don't know if I need anything else with this, really. Well, I'll probably want like a design for this, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, so what is this function going to be? This is going to be bb collapse. Now there's two things here, which means that you probably want to be in a fragment, or I want to wrap this in a div itself. Probably want to wrap you in a div. You feel like you're at the right size, and you feel like you're not at the right indentation. Okay, so we're gonna have this button class toggled, navbar toggler type button. Okay, so if I do all of this, oh, so this won't be the class navbar toggler. Ooh, I wonder if in Bootstrap that's the only one. Okay, collapse hides content. Collapse seen is applied during transitions. Collapse show shows content. Okay, so I actually want to do this instead. And then that collapses this. Okay, so this button collapses this down, and then the button either shows or doesn't show, depending upon if it's there or not, or if it's the right size. Okay, this is what I want. Let's we'll reset this. Okay, so they're trying to show that this button with data BS target. Oh, interesting. So that makes it collapse even when it's large. Okay, where does that differ with the nav? Nav bar. Okay, navbar toggler for use with our collapse plugin and other navigation toggling behaviors. That doesn't really explain anything. All right, so we're gonna do the first one. Just do collapse to begin with. So we want this button first. Okay, so we have button class button primary, type button, data BS toggle collapse, collapse example, R expanded fall. Okay, so Okay, so that's going to collapse example, and then this has the ID of collapse example. Okay, that makes sense. So then I take you. Blah, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, for you, div collapse. We have that ID, which is not great. I don't really care. But if I use this multiple times in one page, we're gonna have to update that. So you're gonna have to have an ID. So pub ID. This is gonna be required, and you can be a string attribute or an attribute value. That kind of worked, but also didn't. Okay, so for you, data BS target, maybe set like that. Okay, but everything else I think is the same. Okay, so I don't need this to be a card here. I need this to be children. So then you're going to be children like that. Okay, and then we need like a label. Okay, so if I use this here in, I guess the LMS, and I can make it collapsible. So children ID and label. So this is the course access article. Okay, so here's the course nav, and so I have that set as BB call width 3. I guess I put that around in here. I probably put it in here then. So we're gonna do BB what is it called? Collapse. Oh, what is this? Containers? Components. Components. See, I saved you, right? Components collapse and components mod. We have mod collapse. Okay, so I should have access to collapse. Oh, do I need to save you before I can find it? So components. Something like that. Yeah, I think that works. Deepak, hello. How are you doing today? What am I doing? I'm working on a Rusty web application called an LMS, a learning management system. It's a actual real use application that I'm using to sell courses. And we're currently working on making it mobile friendly because it wasn't before. Can I make a simple tutorial on JOT authentication using Exum? I will add that to the list. So create simple, like, I guess this be tutorial on JOT authentication with Exum. YouTube learner. There, added to my list. I can't obviously promise when. Okay, so you're sitting here, we have an error, but I think that's just because I'm not using this correctly yet. Yeah, so BB collapse, and we have a few things that we need here. Okay, so we know we need an ID, and the ID for this would be course nav. I guess, yeah, course nav. We also need a label. So this would be course toggle articles. Oh, and there was one last one. The children. Which it has the children. Okay, so that might be okay with this. We head back to here. All right. Toggle net lessons nav, which doesn't do anything. And we get no errors or warnings. That just doesn't work. Cool. Love it when things don't work. All right. So yeah, your okay, so your classes collapse, and then yeah, when this has like collapse show, that shows it. Ooh, and that's how I can like control it myself if I want to. Now this button, okay, so button class primary type button. So data BS toggle collapse, data BS target course nav, which I want this to be ID course nav. Okay. Are expended false, all your controls course nav. So controls course nav. Toggle lessons nav. Okay. I mean, that so far seems like it should work, but it doesn't do the thing. Coffee, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, and so in both cases, data BS toggle equals collapse is required on the button, right? Yeah, data BS toggle collapse, which then has this ID here. No. Okay, yeah, data BS toggle collapse. So we have that. href is no, wait. I don't care about. Oh, both of these work. That's what they're trying to say. So I'm only caring about the button here. So class button, type equals button. Do you have that? Data BS toggle collapse. We have that. Data BS target equals hash collapse example, which I don't have that. So target equals fun. Okay. We need a format for this. Okay, so you're gonna have a hash in front of you, and then that, and that. There it goes. That loads it in. Okay, Coffee, you're doing good. You fixed the Kubernetes issue you had yesterday. It was related to your home router allowing DNS UDP packets up to 4096 bytes, whereas the Kubernetes core DNS rejects them because it expects it to be max 512 bytes. Oh, that's fun. You're feeling after all this. You just learned network administration. Congratulations. Now you can instead of buying your home router, you can go buy like a Cisco rack router for several $1,000s and use that. Now, what I would like is for this to be visible here and then not visible down below, which I kind of wonder if that is part of that plugin they talked about. I wonder if that has to be okay. So how do I get that to automatically happen? So there's the navbar expand LG, which I don't think that's what that is. Oh, because the button isn't even showing yet. So maybe that is what it is. If I just add this navbar expand LG to this div here. No, that didn't oh, it'd be the opposite, wouldn't it? It'd be the opposite. So it's almost like I need to detect. Okay, no, I don't like it. Oh, there is this collapse and navbar collapse. Oh, that's also another thing. So you have navbar expand LG, but what if, okay, so this is the course nav, collapse show, navbar collapse. But that's still the opposite of what I want, because I actually want it to be open like this and to not show the button. Oh, okay. So if you like it to default open, add the additional class show. Okay, so not dot show, just like actually just show. So if I just do that, you show up like that, but you also show up like this. And I don't want you to show up. I want you to hide when you're small. Okay, that's JavaScript type stuff. Now, I'm really curious how the navbar does it, because it uses the same collapse stuff, but it doesn't show up until this. So I want to say it's the navbar toggler. For use with our collapse plugin and other navigation toggling behaviors, navbars can use navbar toggler, navbar collapse, and navbar expand classes to determine when their content collapses behind a button. In combination with other utilities, you can easily choose when to show or hide particular elements. For navbars that never collapse, add the navbar expand class on the navbar. For navbars that always collapse, don't add any navbar expand class. Okay, so toggler. Okay, so let's see if I can guess how this works just for this. Okay, so coffee. Luckily, you could just reconfigure your microtic to max it out at 512, which fixed the issue immediately. There's also a PR bug fix for this for future versions of Core DNS. Oh, that'll be nice. Hopefully that actually does, they actually do get that in. Okay, so I feel like the navbar expand here is the important one. So we want navbar expand like small, medium, or so on the thing. So if I put this, okay, so div class collapse show navbar expand small, maybe. You show. I wanted you hidden though. Oh, but I have this show on it. If I remove you, okay, so let's remove the show. Okay, so you don't show. You don't show. Okay, so that's not it. Or it's in the wrong place. I don't put that in the wrong place. Didn't put that in the correct place. So let's see. Oh, that goes. I wonder if it also needs to be a class navbar. I mean, technically, it's not really a nav bar, but otherwise, we're going to have to write some JavaScript code. Do I want to put you here then? Okay, that didn't do it. Do I have to add in a nav bar? No, I don't have to add in a nav bar. Okay. Unless it needs to be in a nav. Unless that needs to be a nav too, which I would not be happy if that's the case. No, okay, good. Navbar togglers are left aligned by default, but they should follow a sibling element like a navbar brand. They'll automatically be aligned to the far left. Reversing your markup will reverse the placement of the toggler. Below examples of different toggle styles. Okay, so it's navbar toggler on the button that does it. So that's navbar toggler. Okay, so let's undo some of the stuff we've been playing around with. I wonder if I can set my trunk to also be watching the same directory I have YCL in. That'd be nice. Huh, that turned it white text. Interesting. Okay, so if I come here and I do color black. Okay, so none of the text is actually showing. Yes, that's hidden still. But that's very fascinating that navbar toggler turned the button. Huh, is it actually there? I guess it is there. But I can't actually see that text. That's weird. Oh, because it has, of course, button primary color far light. Okay, weird. Sometimes you want to use the collapse plugin to trigger a container element for content that structurally sits outside of the navbar. Okay. But does that have to sit inside of a class navbar? I'm a little bit worried that it does. Okay, but so you are, because I don't think I'm allowed to have more than one nav at a time in semantic HTML. And I already have the nav at the top, so having a second nav isn't allowed, which seems a little bit silly because I do have two navs. I just have one nav for the course and one nav for the site. It makes me think that, though, maybe, what if I take you and I implement you fully like this? So let's try it with the second nav. Let's see. So if we have those two things, you're going to need a fragment. Okay, so if I just do that, and then div class collapse, okay, so then everything in here is going to be the children. Okay, so that shows up that. Okay, so that, I mean, it's the opposite of what I wanted to work, but okay, so it does the thing. And then you kind of work there, fine. for the button, we can have the label in this now. So span oh, that almost worked. That almost worked. I think I don't think I need this to have a class like this. I think we just make that have to be a span like you. So we have two things in there. It's still the wrong side, but I guess I could also, with that size, what if I, let's see. I wonder if I would need to put like a row in here and then just do 2 columns, or we could just get rid of view. Okay, so we have toggle lessons nav. I could make this centered in here, which would look fine, and that toggles that. Okay, great. That looks great. You, however, are still not showing up. You're not doing the right order. Okay, so how it works. The collapse JavaScript plugin is used to show and hide content. Buttons or anchors are used as triggers that are mapped to specific elements you toggle. Collapsing an element will animate the height from its current value to 0. Given how CSS handles animations, you cannot use padding on a collapse element. Instead, use the class as an independent wrapping element. Okay. That doesn't answer how the nav bar works. Well, I guess what they said is like there's a plugin that automatically calls it in their JavaScript. So if I wanted to call this, I would need some code to determine how wide things are and then call it or uncall it. We could do that. And then apparently we just add some classes based upon what is used. Okay. Now if I throw in there, if I throw in a show,